and welcome back to Wellness in Conversation. I'm Mary Oakes, your host, and today's episode is all about how to kickstart your health in 2026 for the mind and the body, of course. So if you've been feeling like you might need a reset, not a quick fix, not a magic pill, but a simple plan to follow that works with your busy life, this conversation could just be for you, because it all starts with a 30-day reset for more energy, body confidence, and just to feel awesome in 2026. And you're going to meet 3 guests today who started with a 30-day reset. Many go on to do 90 days for even better results with our Kickstart 90 challenge, which we'll tell you a bit more about later. But first of all, joining me today are 3 incredible guests who've lived the process and they've come out the other side transformed, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. So let me introduce you to them. First up, we have Danny Retrouvé, entrepreneur, food lover, and living proof that discipline can be rebuilt even after life kind of knocks you sideways. We're also joined by Ayla Grootman, who shows us what's possible when you stop listening to those excuses in your head, you know, including things like your age, injury that she went through, and you start trusting yourself again. And finally, we've got Sophie Parkes, an osteopath of 30 years. Now, Sophie chose Kickstart 90 as a kind of natural, empowering alternative during her surgical menopause, and she's reclaimed her confidence, clarity, strength, you name it. So thank you so much for being here, you 3. Danny, I'd love to start with you if that's okay.
Sure.
Because I think your story is going to resonate with so many people. You went through such a huge amount in a short space of time, losing your job, going through a divorce, and that kind of stress doesn't just stay in the mind, does it? It lands in the body too. So can you take us back to that period and just share how stress impacted your health and your weight?
Yeah, after my divorce, I was fully focused on work. Also, my work has a limited contract. When my contract ended in the period of Corona lockdown, they didn't extend my contract. And I used to travel a lot for business in Europe. So when that all fell apart, my marriage gone, my job gone, I fell into a deep black period, which was with a lot of stress. And the stress, normally I live a very healthy life, but the stress really got onto me. And in a few weeks' time, in 7 weeks' time, I gained 8 kilos by eating half of the portions and the things I did before. After that, I also gained another 5 kilos 8 weeks later. So it was an amount of 13 kilos increase from out of nowhere. So that was what stress did to me by the time.
So, you know, what really struck me from you just telling us about that period of your life, first of all, a lot of people will resonate with that. You know, we comfort eat when we're going through life's difficulties, and you were obviously still carrying that traumatic chapter with you. 2 big things happened, losing your job and the marriage. So you chose to, you know, commit to Kickstart 90 and, you know, just a 90-day health reboot, really. What did that decision sort of represent for you emotionally, not just physically?
A lot. It changed my whole life, actually. I was invited at a party of Maria, and she's also an Isogenics fan and promoter and coach for 6 years already. And during the party, I had a conversation with Judith, who was also Isogenics coach and representative in the Netherlands. And I told them my problem about my weight, and we had a personal discussion. And then she said, well, why don't you try Isogenics? It can work for you. But I already tried several programs, and I even had a dietary coach. It only helped me get lost weight 1.5 kilo. So that's not much. As he said, you're already living a healthy lifestyle. But then Judith was very enthusiastic, and the next day I phoned her and I said, well, Judith, I have some questions. And She was very enthusiastic and very energetic. And then she told me all the opportunities that Isogenics could to bring to me for my body. And she told me about 90 days total body reset. And that was what connecting with me. And I thought, hey, this is what I need. I need to reset before even trying to lose some weight. And I said, okay, after we chat for an hour, I said, I'm convinced. I don't have any questions anymore. I just want to try it. Just arrange it for me. And so she arranged it. And 3 days later, I received my full package for a month.
Lost 11 kilograms in 90 days, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But what stood out to me most was your discipline. You stuck to what it said to do, didn't it? It's just eating healthy, effectively. And I know you threw in a little bit of exercise as well. What was the hardest part of the reset for you, especially as someone who literally works with food every day? Because you work with food, don't you? Food and drink.
Yes, I was a professional trainer in high-end restaurants. I trained chefs and sommeliers how to do food pairing with coffee and beverage. So I was always working with food and always working with chefs. So my mindset was food all the time. I lived a healthy lifestyle and I didn't overeat or something. But it was difficult. The most difficult part was what I did was I kept to the schedule, which also is in the magazine, of the schedules of the shake days and the cleanse days. That's exactly what I followed. And on the side, I had Judith as a coach who was very enthusiastic and told me everything about what I needed to know more to understand what the products were doing. And during that period, I noticed already after 10 days that I lost around my waist. A few centimeters are gone. What happened? So, I didn't.
That was a good feeling.
Didn't believe it could be possible. So I made the arrangement with myself. I told myself every 10 days I do a measuring on the scale and with the centimeter. And I thought, no, it cannot be true. So I went to the scale, went out on it, and I was even more surprised because I lost 4 kilos already.
I mean, incredible. So obviously you've gone from working with those chefs, Michelin-starred chefs, to eating Michelin-starred nutrition at Isogenics. How was that comparison going from, obviously, a lot of people say they like to eat real food, and Isogenics is real food, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from your point of view, working with professional chefs, how did it feel trying our system over real food, as people call it?
Yeah. Well, actually, I enjoyed it because Judith also convinced me that of the high quality of the Isogenics product. So that for me was, I just need to try this because she explained it so well and it was all logic for me. So I thought, if this is true, then I have to try it. And I did, and I don't regret it.
Oh. And now on the other side of those 90 days, how does it feel to have, this new chapter in your life when you've shed all that physical and emotional sort of turmoil that you went through?
Yeah, absolutely. It felt great. It felt like absolutely a new start of everything. But also, when you go to the bathroom and you see your belly every day, and you think, that's all because that difficult period, the divorce, the loss of my job. That's when I got rid of that, then I thought, now finally I can close the chapter. Finally, it's gone. Really, physically gone. And mentally, it opened up much more than that. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing to hear. Thank you so, so much. Now, before we move on to our next guest, I just wanted to quickly explain what Kickstart 90 actually is that Danny's just been referring to, because this episode is about inspiring others to try it too. So Kickstart 90 is literally a little 90-day challenge. Somebody from Isogenics, a coach, walks you through the system. They're there with you every step of those 90 days. And it's simple, structured nutrition, an eating plan that you follow each day. You can choose to combine it with exercise. You don't have to. And there's some targeted supplementation there to help with things like energy, mental well-being, etc., and mindset support. And the great thing is that this isn't about starving yourself or chasing perfection. It's about creating, trust with your body again and giving yourself enough time to see a real change. It really is a full body reset. And each of you, of course, is proof that it actually works in very different ways. So Ayla, your story. Now, it's so powerful because it's not just about instant success. It's about, not giving up on yourself, because you started Kickstart 90 before and stopped. And many people listening are going to relate to that. They've tried the system before and maybe not stuck to it. But what was different this time that allowed you to stick with it?
Well, thanks first of all for the invitation to share my story with you. Because, honestly, I know a lot of people with all kinds of excuses just like me. I had a knee injury. I couldn't sport anymore. I allowed myself to feel sorry for myself. But I also had excuses because of the weather, my environment, the children, everything I could think of. I just was not in the mood to make the change, to do what I had to do. I started, I stopped. So I didn't like myself, but I couldn't change it. But then my 50th birthday is coming really soon now, and my partner asked me, what do you want to do for a party? And when I had my 40th birthday party, I was exhausted, overweight, and when I look at those pictures, it really hurts me. And that was when I could change my mind. I thought, when I have my 50th birthday, and it is now within 2 weeks, I really want to shine and be the best person I am. So I set this goal. My knee injury was already gone, so I didn't have that excuse anymore. I already told my Isagenix buddies, but also my children and my partner, I'm just gonna do the Kickstart 90 now, and I'm gonna win a prize. So everybody supported me. I set my goal in my mind, and beside my transformation, I also was a third prize winner. So I'm still so happy for it.
Incredible. And you look amazing, Ayla. Lots of us have either weddings or birthdays or things to look forward to in our lives where we want to make a difference, don't we? And you're living proof that you can do it when you change that mindset. So I know that you went through an injury as well, and you mentioned that you were going through some hormonal changes too. How did Kickstart 90 help with that?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, when you put healthy food in your body, you feel so much better. But when you don't feel as good as I feel now, it is so easy to take a snack and don't take care of yourself. But when I started Kickstart 90, I started a full 30-day reset again. It's our simple program to just do the 30 days. I started to exercise and I felt muscles again. So within 2 or 3 weeks, I've really felt a difference. I wanted to become more active. I didn't want to sit on the couch anymore. And because I felt physically healthier, better, I felt mentally healthier as well. So I was getting better in prioritizing what was best for me. For example, I take my greens every day, and greens is just 50% of the vegetables you need in one day. And it really helps me to have my hormones in balance and don't have such problems with it. So, yeah.
Great little solutions there thrown in. I love that you mentioned to me earlier that your biggest win though wasn't actually the kilos. It was more what that represented for you. So what would you say to someone who's like you, maybe nearly in their 50s, who feels like age or injury has become their excuse?
I just want to say, when you look in the mirror at yourself, and if you're not happy with how you feel or how you look, please do try a 30-day reset. If I can do it, you can do it. Within 2 weeks, you will already notice a difference. I can promise you, just like Danny said already. So just stop making excuses and be honest to yourself. And yes, we hear it all the time when you turn around 50. Sophie already knows it's harder to lose weight, muscle, you have a worse sleep, your hormones, etc. But the truth is, your body is so much more capable of doing things when you just start. And whatever you think in your mind, you can do it. You can accomplish it. I know I will shine on my 50th birthday in 2 weeks. I rewired my brain. I set my goal, and then it's easier to take the steps. And you just start with one small step. So who do you want to be? The woman or man with the excuses, or the woman with the goals and a life you want to live?
Ayla, wow, so inspiring. How do you follow that, Sophie? Sophie, your journey is incredible too, especially for women. And, listening tonight who might feel a little bit lost in menopause. There's a lot of talk about it in the press at the moment. You actually went through a forced menopause in a way because you had a full hysterectomy, a surgical menopause as we call it, and you couldn't use hormone treatments. Many people, have been turning to the weight loss injections, but you consciously chose Kickstart 90 instead. Can you share a little bit about why you made that choice and what you're looking for beyond the weight loss?
Yeah. Again, and thank you, for inviting us. I think, guys, you just have to get real. Your body is aging, okay? Whatever you're doing, and your body's constantly changing. Ayla's said that, I'm a busy osteopath. I've been an osteopath for 30 years. So I've treated people, in fact, thousands of people in that time frame. And I think we forget about ourselves and we forget that our body's changing, but our body supports us. You live in your body, it's your home. So you have to get real. And for me, from a health perspective, I've had my health challenges. I had my hysterectomy. So going through what we call a surgical menopause is quite traumatic. I couldn't take alternative things due to my history. So my body started to struggle, and I am a holistic person. I didn't want to take drugs personally. Everybody must follow their own path. So Kickstart 90 gave me the opportunity to follow a tried and tested, scientifically driven system. And like Ayla said, you have to get over your excuses. Your body is changing. I'm growing old disgracefully. That's what I always said. But Isagenix provides you with a system to follow, like Danny said, it's a discipline, and there's coaching to go along with it. And I think the big thing for me was being present in my body. And I know that your gut is king. It rules your brain. If your gut's not happy, you are not going to make progress. And the difference with this is it gets your gut in order. It's a whole body, not a particular liver system or kidney system reboot. It's a whole body system. And for me, I didn't want my health challenges to determine my tomorrow. So I wanted to be present in the opportunity to show my body I was still showing up for it because it was showing up for me 24 hours a day. And also be an advocate for others, that this isn't your journey is not determined by who you are now, but the choices you're willing to make and the decisions you're willing to make to have a go and a try, like Ayla's just said.
That decision you made to give it a try, Sophie, it meant that not only did you lose 24 pounds, which is an incredible amount of weight, but what stood out to me was when you have been talking about the shift that you experienced in, anxiety, less stress, more focus, more confidence. So what did, nourishing your body properly change about your mental well-being?
Well, like I've hinted, your gut rules your life. 70% of your immune system's in your gut. Your happy hormones are from your gut, like serotonin. So for me, cutting out this food noise that a lot of people are talking about, and I've had food noise all my life, by doing this and following a system and actually nourishing, we're not deficit, we're not calorie deficit, we're calorie nourishing, I began to feel me again. So as Ayla, and Danny have both said about looking in the mirror, you begin to see a reflection that you're actually bloody proud of. We're all uniquely, beautifully different. I'd never fitted a box in my life, but this gave me the ability to actually feel authentic and true in my own shoes, and quite liking the socks I wear, if that makes sense. So my anxiety levels, which I'd never had before, okay, never have I had anxiety. But when the hormones were shifting, it became a big problem for me, which was so totally outside my normal. So again, by doing this and other natural biohacks, it was giving me the ability to take control of my destiny, rather than feeling that I was a victim of what was happening to me. It gave me the ability to take control. And for me, guys, the scales is one thing. Health and wellness should be how you feel, how you sleep, what your energy levels are. What's your resting heart rate? Can you move? Can you climb the stairs? Have you got balance? Can you get up and off the floor? Growing old disgracefully is you making a stand to support your body, to allow it to grow old, but be present while you do it.
And Sophie, what would you say to women, who are going through these hormonal changes like you, maybe they look in the mirror and they feel like they don't recognize themselves anymore. What advice would you give them?
So reach out to a friend. If you're watching this, it's a no-brainer. Get some help. Don't hide. You feel when you're not comfortable in your own skin, you start hiding. I did, front facing all the time. I started hiding, and you put on this, cynical smile. Be present. Face yourself. Ask those questions. It's not new year, new you. I don't do that. Be proud of who you are. Go ask yourself those questions, or talk to a friend to go, what could I do? Menopause is a normal developmental change. Normal. It's not abnormal. It's supposed to happen. So how can we be involved in it? Stop it being a victim that we are in. And for me, I'm healthier and happier now than I was before my menopause. Just saying, my menopause through those years was one thing. Now I'm involved. Yes, my body's still changing, guys, and it will. It isn't the end. This isn't a destination. This is being on the journey of where tomorrow might take you. But reach out to anybody that's on this call, or anybody to find out. But I needed it to be natural. I needed it to be safe, conscientiously resourced and sourced, scientifically driven, because I'm a really cynical scientist at heart. Changed my life, and I am grateful for this. And do you know what? Being present, we should be full of gratitude, guys, because we're still here and we're still breathing. And who knows what tomorrow will bring if you're present in today.
Absolutely, Sophie. And listening to all three of you, the common thread isn't about perfection, it's commitment, isn't it? So if each of you could just share one sentence, one thing to someone watching who's on the fence about maybe giving this little system a go, what would it be? Danny, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah. Well, I have two quotes that I live by. One of them is, your future starts today, which in my case was absolutely true. That is, winners never quit and quitters never win.
Yay! Love them, Danny. Love them.
That's from my sports background, but that's the same mentality I took into the 90 days challenge when I started. I had a goal. I wanted to win. I wanted to do it by the system. They already figured it out. I didn't have to figure it out myself. The plan was already there. The only thing I had to do was stick to it.
And say yes.
And say yes.
And Ayla, any little words of wisdom?
Yeah, don't wait until you're ready, because you never are. I wasn't as well, but I just committed, and that decision changed everything.
And Sophie, lastly?
Comparison is the thief of joy. Get out of your own head, get back into the body that serves you 24 hours a day, get real, and have some fun, because we do.
Yeah.
Well said, well said. Thank you so much to all three of you. This episode is proof that Kickstart 90 isn't just a body reset, actually. It's a confidence reset, a mindset reset. So if you've been waiting for a sign to start, let this be it. Reach out to the person who invited you here, or to one of our three amazing guests. Connect with them. They've been there and they've done it before. And give yourself the gift of those 90 days, because you don't need to wait for the best time to start, as Ayla said. As Danny said, you just need the decision. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening, and we'll see you next month on Wellness in Conversation.